It's Rick and Sasha, and on the phone right now is R. Kelly's former strategist and nutritionist, Sharon Winbush. And you worked with him back in the 90s, correct?
Yeah, back in 97 and 98.
Yeah.
So I worked in his house when he was still married to Drea, had a new baby. 98.
Yeah.
So I worked in his house when he was still married to Drea, had a new baby, involved with Sparkle, and just meeting Sparkle's niece, Rashana.
So she saw it all, Sasha.
She saw some.
I saw some, yeah.
What did you see that would make me say that this dude is innocent?
Well, it's not so much that he's innocent, but Drea is complicit. They didn't have a marriage. How she represented things to the public was fraudulent. I saw the pictures of the day that they exchanged vows. They got married February 1996 out of state. The only person present was Barry Hankerson. And one day Drea was looking through the photo album and I saw the pictures. And I could see from Robert's expression that he regretted or just wasn't happy with what he did.
So her look and R. Kelly's look was what?
He looked like he wasn't happy with what he did, and she just looked confused. I would have never known that was the day that they exchanged their vows. Now, I worked in the house full time. What Drea never said publicly is she and Robert slept in separate bedrooms.
Were you in the house 24 hours, 7 days a week?
No.
Okay, so how do you know they never slept in the bed together?
I didn't say they never slept in the bed. They had separate bedrooms. A lot of times when I got there, they were still asleep. So I would always see there were only 3 bedrooms in the house, and obviously I've been all around the house. Her bedroom was at the top. Down from there was Joanne's nursery, and Robert's room was all the way downstairs by the kitchen. Drea always came from upstairs, and she would always have this dancer, Angie or China, spending the night with her. So they always came from Drea's room.
I remember China, yes.
They were traveling with Robert and his backup dancers and were on the tour bus with him, and one of the guys said they all slept in the room with Robert. So it wasn't unusual to see that. And then
Okay, well,
Robert
wait. What is it that she lied about in those 2 years? That's what I like to know. What did she lie about?
Well, on your show, she said that there was no other woman in the house. You distinctly asked her, were there other women? And there were always 2 other dancers that spent the night.
So she lied about that, about other women being in the house. What else did she lie about?
She said that she was suffering abuse 24/7. Robert wasn't around her 97% of the time. He was in his own room. He always had the door locked. He would stay in there until other people came to meet with him.
How do you know that he never put his hands on her?
I never said that.
I'm just asking. Don't get defensive. I'm just asking because you're being very specific on some things. And when you talk about abuse, women suffer physical and mental abuse. How do you know she wasn't getting mental abuse from him?
Around her 97% of the time.
But you said that you wasn't there 24 hours, 7 days a week either. So is it a chance that you could have missed something? I'm just asking.
I never said abuse didn't occur.
Okay.
I never said their relationship was perfect. I'm saying at the onset, you could see visible problems. My issue is not with her saying that. She's not saying what she did as a wife to add value to the relationship, to help her husband. She's always talking about what Robert didn't do for her, what his fiduciary responsibilities were. What about her responsibilities as a wife? She knew he had illiteracy. She knew the childhood that he came from. He suffered from abuse. He had come from poverty. He had trauma that he was carrying.
You sound so
she had a responsibility to hire people.
You sound so personal with this. It's almost like you love him or you're in love with him. I'm just listening to you about how she should be as a wife. Do you had feelings?
As I listen to her, I also hear a woman who's being compassionate to a man who just has issues. And I hear her saying, if that's his wife, why didn't she do just a little bit more to help him?
Why didn't you say something to him? Why didn't you help him?
I work for the man. That's not my responsibility.
Well, we have people that surround us too, that work with us, that if they saw something, I would hope that they would pull me to the side and check me about a few things.
I ain't telling you nothing. I'm minding my business like Sharon was minding her business.
I don't have to be in love with someone to have human compassion. I don't have to be in love with someone to not want to see someone publicly assassinated by the woman that is the mother of his children. That's just called basic human compassion. I never said nothing happened between them. I don't hear where she's taking responsibility. I don't hear where she's stepping up and saying, I tried to help him, I did this, I brought this to the table. He has the same issues today that he had when he met her, which says, I don't see the value that she added. I have a problem with her assassinating him on the public worldwide stage. When 2 years ago she was at his birthday party, when 2 years ago she was singing how great he was as a man. This makes no sense to me. Whatever issue she had, it took her 10, 20 years to say something. She never said she knew Rashana. She never said Rashana was over the house once a week. There was a whole lot that she left out of what she was saying publicly. And because I speak out on that and because I feel compassion for someone who's being attacked on the worldwide stage, that's not being in love. That's being walking God, which is love. God is love. God is not hate. God is not destruction. God is not tearing people down. And when I see the ex-wife leading the charge, that breaks my heart.
We're talking to Sharon Wimbush. She's the former strategist and nutritionist for Mr. R. Kelly.
When was the last time you talked to him?
A couple of months ago.
How's he doing?
Not well. Not well. I mean, he's in jail now, so.
Sharon, do you believe that he deserves any of what he's getting at all?
I believe in the United States you're innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt, and he has not had his day in court. People have to wait until things ferret themselves out before we know exactly what happened. I don't know what happened, and neither does anyone else. And so you ferret things out through the legal process.
If you're called to testify, will you do so?
Yeah, I'll tell what I saw.
Okay.
Nothing more, nothing less.
If Andrea was listening right now and you could speak to her, what would you say to her? Liar!
What value did you bring to Robert? Why didn't you hire professionals? With $750 million, you had enough money to hire a Tony Robbins or Deepak Chopra. Why didn't you hire someone professionally to come in and help with the issues that she knew were pre-existing before she married him? Why didn't she do more to help him with the base of what was going on in their relationship? And any type of abuse, if he feels he's in a marriage by himself and he doesn't have support and he doesn't have anyone shoring up his weaknesses, that's going to cause some frustration. All relationships have arguments and fights and things of that nature. I think that's when you call in professional help, and I don't see where that was done. So you wouldn't assassinate your son on the worldwide stage. You don't assassinate your son's father. That I don't agree with.
Well, thank you, darling, for taking time to chat with us, as this is going to be in the headlines every single day until we see what plays out, right, Rick?
Absolutely. Well, once this thing continues on, we'd like to talk to you some more about you and get your thoughts on it, okay?
Okay.